And let's kick things off with your first alert forecast. And today, gorgeous. It's the weather we've been waiting for. Clear skies, mild temperatures, 61 stepping out right now in Myrtle Beach. We're looking at 52 for Florence. A little chilly once you get west of I-95. But today, a big warm up. 74 your high today for the Grand Strand with lots of sunshine, a light south breeze, especially close to the coast. It will get a bit windy at times. 80 your high today across the PD. And we are going to have nice weather once again tomorrow. But Sunday is a first alert weather day, and it doesn't really kick in until late in the day Sunday. So I can't stress enough how nice today, tomorrow, and even really the first part of your Sunday will be. Here's a timeline for it. A couple stray showers Sunday late afternoon, not out of the question, but the main line of strong storms approaches the PD by 8 o'clock Sunday evening, more towards 11 o'clock midnight for the Grand Strand, and then by 5 a.m. Monday, just in time for the early risers, it is pushing off of our coastline. With this, we are expecting some gusty straight line winds. We're talking 60-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts, not out of the question, especially for the PD, and then very heavy rain in a short period of time. Behind this front, a big cool down to the 60s by Monday. That's going to be a big change considering Sunday we're at 82 for the high.
This is what you want to see on your Friday morning commute. The regular traffic times. So far, no traffic tie-ups to report from Highway Patrol. Take you about 22 minutes to get from Conway to 17 bypass on 501, and from Mr. Joe White to SC22, it'll take you just about 11 minutes on 17 bypass. Across the PD, also no traffic issues this morning. From Florence to Dillon, it'll just take you about 22 minutes on I-95, and from Irby Street to 5 Points, just take you about 5 minutes.
Thanks so much, Sean. 6:51, a sad but familiar scene for some at the Windsor Green apartment complex last night as a fire ripped through a building there. And unfortunately, it's not the first time. In 2013, another fire devastated that same complex.
That's right. Let's go out live now to Marissa Tansino on the scene. Marissa, what does it look like right now there behind you?
Yeah, well, Michael and Crystal, if you take a look behind me here, now that it's light out, you can see just how much damage was done to that building. It's almost unbelievable, and you can see how big that fire really was. Now, in that 2013 fire, 26 buildings here were destroyed, and although only one building was damaged last night, that certainly doesn't make this easier for those affected. Now, here's a look at some video from one of our viewers of the fire ripping through that building. Some in the community are already offering things like clothes for children, men and women, and furniture over Facebook for the victims who lost their homes last night. One of the teenagers who lives here didn't even think to grab his own belongings first. He told us about the moments he realized there was a fire and heard people screaming for help, and he didn't hesitate to spring into action.
You want to tell us what happened, what you saw? Yeah, there was a fire, and everybody started screaming in the back, help, so I ran back there. And then there was a family that had their baby, and they counted to 3, and I caught it, and they all jumped out.
So you caught a baby as they were throwing it out the window?
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your head?
Just help them, really.
Have you ever experienced something like this before?
No.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's scary, I mean. People are screaming for help, and they all jump, and they broke their legs and jump. Crazy.
Now, we talked with that boy's mother, too. She says she's proud of her son for what he did, and she tells us she grabbed what she could and called her mother after she got out of the complex, and she was crying and was hoping first responders got there fast.
You just think, get out. And I pray for those people. We were knocking on doors of our building. There's an elderly lady below us. She didn't even hear the door knock. It's just scary.
And another woman tells us she was down the street from her apartment when she heard about the fire. She says she rushed back home as fast as she could as flashbacks of the terrifying fire from 2013 played back in her mind.
I was at Magoo's, and somebody messaged me and said Windsor Green was on fire. Instantly, I ran every light. I mean, it was a flashback of the last time, and I ran from the median all the way up to my grandma's. She's one building away, and I mean, I was crying the whole way. Thank God she's safe, but it was petrifying. Last time it was 100 and some units that were up in fire. Thank goodness it's only one building this time, but it was petrifying.
Now, Horry County Police all morning had this road blocked off at a few moments in time. However, now it is back open. They seem to have stopped dousing the building behind me with water, but we are continuing to work to learn more about this investigation and what caused that fire. We will, of course, bring you updates as we get them, so stay with us on air, online, and on our app. Live in Horry County, Marissa Tansino, WMBF News.
Okay, Marissa, Horry SC Fire Rescue, excuse me, tweeted out their thanks just 4 hours ago as fire crews battled an apartment fire there at Windsor Green. We've been covering that tweet saying, quote, strong work by members of Horry County Fire Rescue, Myrtle Beach Fire, as well as the City of Conway Fire Department. Officials say the first units were on the location in 4 minutes. Heavy fire conditions on all 3 floors and attic, they said. Several citizens had jumped prior to arrival. 4 critical, 3 non-critical transported.
Well, we're taking you back to the scene for the latest developments on the Windsor Green Fire from last night.
Yeah, our live team coverage continues with WMBF News reporter Amy Kawada. She's now at the Windsor Green complex where crews have been working all night and morning investigating that situation. Amy.
Yeah, they are still out here investigating, and just moments ago they were hosing down this apartment complex, and it looks like they are still out here and coming out there with some more hoses. But we're told several people were jumping out of this in fear for their lives from this 3-story apartment complex. And just moments ago I was told that they completed their primary and secondary search and will be here all day conducting the investigation to really determine that cause of the fire. I'm also told that 16 people were in that building and everyone was out, and one fire rescue actually saved a woman and her dog from this fire. Horry County Fire Rescue says that they received the initial call at 9:12 Thursday night, and their first units were on location within 4 minutes. They said that there were heavy fire conditions on all 3 floors of the building and attic.
A total of 7 patients were transported, 4 of those in life-threatening injuries. Those injuries all trauma-related, no burn injuries that we know of, 3 non-life-threatening.
Horry County Fire Rescue Chief Mark Nugent tells us they received assistance from Myrtle Beach and Conway Fire Department.
The folks, they worked hard. We're proud of them, like we are every day. But they probably had the bulk of that fire knocked down within 30 minutes, which we're extremely proud of what they did and getting a lot of ladders. You can't see it from here, but on the back side of that building was filled up with ladders to get to those balconies to let those people have a better chance to get out of that building. So they're doing good right now.
Chief Nugent also tells us this building is a second home to many, and crews have been working hard to make sure that everyone is accounted for.
In cases like this, a lot of these people may not live here. This may be, some of these people may be vacant, may live out of town. So we're working with the management people here to really do a good roll call and a good count of everybody that is here to make sure that we account for everyone, along with that search of that building too, to clear that structure.
And like I said, crews have been here all night and up to this morning, and they tell me that they're going to be here all day to really find out that cause of the fire. And we'll be sure to keep you updated on all our social media and on our website on WMBFnews.com and also on air, so be sure to stick with us. For now, reporting live in Horry County, Amy Kawada, WMBF News.
All right, thanks so much, Amy, for that. Let's get a check-in with weather now. Fog, a big concern right now.
We've been watching fog for Georgetown, showing improvements there, so that's good news. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, a warm day ahead. Make sure to tune in to Sean this weekend for that First Alert Weather Day Sunday.
And no problems on the road, Sean?
As traffic goes, you got the green light for sure.
All right, Sean, thanks so much. That's all of our time this morning. We thank you for yours. Continued updates from Windsor Green, online, and in about 20.
CCNB.